And you wonder, where are we in this? Where are our hearts? What's going to happen in this next election? I am terrified about what could possibly happen because our leaders matter. Who we select, who speaks for us, who holds that bully pulpit. It affects us in ways that sometimes I think people take for granted.
Former First Lady Michelle Obama has opened up about her concerns leading up to the presidential election, admitting she's terrified about who could be voted in. While appearing on Jay Shetty's On Purpose podcast, Michelle Obama also revealed that there is such thing as knowing too much, something that she experienced while being married to the President of the United States.
Sometimes you just want to turn it off.
You know too much.
Right? It's like, I don't want to know what was in that folder that you just got that made you quiet. I don't want to know why the security just pulled you over. I mean, it could be any range of things that comes across the desk of the leader of the free world, right? So I know a lot about what's going on, and what keeps me up are the things that I know. The war in the region, in too many regions.
The former First Lady went on to say that she fears some Americans are taking democracy for granted.
The fact that people think that government, does it really even do anything? And I'm like, oh my God, does government do everything for us? And we cannot take this democracy for granted. And sometimes I worry that we do. Those are the things that keep me up.
Meanwhile, US President Joe Biden has warned voters against re-electing Donald Trump, describing him as a risk to the country. And former President Donald Trump has hit back, describing Joe Biden as the threat to democracy.
Trump's mob wasn't a peaceful protest. It was a violent assault. They were insurrectionists, not patriots. They weren't there to uphold the Constitution. They were there to destroy the Constitution.
We have a president who's a great danger to democracy. He really is. He is a danger to democracy, and at a level like few people have seen. By delivering a massive victory in Iowa, you will send a thundering message straight to crooked Joe Biden.
Well, joining me now is the Australian's Washington correspondent, Adam Crichton. Adam, welcome. I mean, they both seem to be going for the same strategy here in some respect. They're accusing each other of being a threat to democracy. Who wins out in this situation? Putting aside the fact that, we know Joe Biden has a few issues with his mental faculties, who wins out in that debate?
Well, look, I think the truth is at the moment that Trump is winning. I mean, they've been trying this strategy. The Democrats, President Biden has been trying this strategy now for more than 2 years. It seemed to work up until the midterm elections, because as we know, the red wave that was supposed to happen back in late 22 never happened. But since then, of course, Trump's announced, his candidacy for the presidency, and he's just soared in the polls. And throughout last year, Joe Biden gave a series of speeches in the same vein as the one that he gave a few days ago, stressing how dangerous another President Trump would be, and the danger of MAGA, so to speak. But it's not worked. So look, I think the Republicans are going to win. We'll find out. The first big test is next week at the Iowa primaries, where we just see the true strength of Donald Trump's support. I mean, he's way ahead in the polls, but we still haven't had a proper vote, so we have to wait and see.
But I can't understand why they keep running this thing, that Trump is a threat to democracy. I mean, we've seen what they've tried to do, of course, to take him off primary ballots, which I would argue is the actual threat to democracy. You're basically saying we can't beat the bloke at the ballot box, so we're going to try and do it through the courts instead. And Biden said this amongst all of his carry-on the other day. Apparently, he understands power. Take a look.
I understand power.
I mean, what does that mean?
Well, I couldn't see the clip, but look, I mean, I think your central point is right. I mean, you've got Colorado and Maine trying to take Donald Trump's name off the ballot, which is the most undemocratic thing that you can imagine. Thankfully, we've heard in recent days that the Supreme Court is going to hear this case, I think mid to late February, and most legal scholars and even ones on the left of politics are saying that it would be good if the court struck down the Colorado decision 9-0. So it remains to be seen what happens there, but I think it's likely the Supreme Court will strike it down.